In 3, 2, 1. That was much better. In fact, I'll say that was good enough.
I would say that's the best clap sync we've done for this podcast.
It could be. For this podcast. The first episode of our new podcast.
What? There was no old one.
There was no old one. Hello, listener, if you're out there. It's us. It's the second one. I'm Kieran, and I'm joined by Elijah.
I'm Elijah.
For the first time. And Grant.
Full name.
Yeah, it's me, Grant. I got a full name. Elijah just got Elijah.
No, that's fine. I don't want my full name. I have a...
Elijah.
No. Cut that. Bleep that.
You can bleep mine as well, and I don't want to be left out.
It's the first of the new podcast, and the new of the old podcast. We talk about a film, and many other films, and also the news. Listener, would you like to know what film we're talking about? I'm sure you would.
Yeah.
We're talking about the hit film Borderlands. The movie of the game. Super Mario came out or something. No, it wasn't. That's Minecraft. That's it. Minecraft came out. And so we're talking about Borderlands. Because they're both games. And as we all know, games are all pretty much the same.
Yeah, and every movie game... No. Every
game
movie is bad.
No,
bad.
That's not true.
No.
What's a good one? Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Silent Hill. Silent Hill's alright. That's a passable film.
Silent Hill was alright. Mortal Kombat 1 was alright too.
Yeah, it's a fun time.
Good for what it is. Yeah, it's a fun time. I'll give you that.
There was one that came out fairly recently that was... Does The Last of Us TV show count?
Nope, that's not a movie.
That's true. Fair enough.
I heard the Mario one was good, but I never watched it.
Well...
Also,
but
there's a new trend started based on the Minecraft movie. You seen that? The chicken jockey trend.
Oh, everybody's shouting chicken jockey at the screen.
They're just flipping out.
Yeah, and then they destroy the cinema.
And they just wreck the place.
Yeah.
Imagine if they did that for the Borderlands movie, but everybody just went, hold up with psychos!
Is that a line in this movie? Anyway, we'll get to it.
Might have been. I digress. Anyway, first, before we do that, let's talk about what's been happening. The news.
Since we briefly spoke about Minecraft, we'll start with that. That movie's a success for some reason, even though by all accounts it's really bad. But because it became a meme, it's making a lot of money.
Yeah, the audience score on RT is doing numbers.
What is it? Let's find out.
It's like the biggest video game. So, it's going to make money. Every 14-year-old little kid's going to go and see that film. It's like 200 million active players.
It currently has 88% on the audience score and 48% on the critic score.
That sounds about right.
Sonic, that was another good one. So
apparently they were all good.
People say.
Apparently you get better and better.
There's 3 of them now?
Yeah, apparently the third one's the best one.
That's the one with Idris Elba.
Yeah, no, that's the second one. This is the one with Keanu Reeves as Shadow the Hedgehog.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
When we had allegedly previously recorded a podcast...
Yeah, allegedly.
Had the Minecraft movie been announced?
No.
It wouldn't have been, would it?
No.
God, there's so much that happened in the interim. That was a good sleep, boys.
Yeah.
That we had together.
We woke up, and now there's a movie about Minecraft.
Yeah. The curse that we thought was lifted has been reinstated because of our sins, of which there were many.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hello.
You want to hear about
anyway,
another
the Minecraft
video game movie? No, that's it. Just it's doing well. That's the news.
Right. Okay, good.
Well, before we move on, I just want to say Happy National Zoo Lovers Day to everyone.
In what way? Hold on.
Hang on a minute.
What do you mean by that?
No, zoophiles. People who like zoos. If you're not happy with that, it's also International Romany Day. So,
Romani.
Fair enough.
Is that how you say it? Romani?
Romany? I guess you could say Romani, but you're American, so.
I am. Allegedly.
I don't like it
America.
being National Zoo Lovers Day and also Baby Massage Day.
Yeah, that's
What?
not a good one.
Baby
weird day.
massage.
I think they should keep that one to themselves.
I agree.
Best day of the is also National Empanada Day, so let's go with that.
Oh, dude.
That's the
Yeah.
same.
Empanadas are fire.
There you go.
Delish.
We don't get great ones here because we're not adjacent to
Yeah.
Mexico.
I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
The ups and downs of living in America. Anyway, I don't mean to get political, everybody. Moving on. Let's get political about this. Angry Birds 3 will come out in 2027. And it will have...
There was a second one.
Apparently. And it will have, all of the regular returning cast members. But there are new cast members that have been announced. Yeah, Redbird, he's in it. But the new cast members include Keke Palmer of
Oh, okay.
Nope and other movies.
Mm-hmm.
And Tim Robinson
Okay.
Fucking right.
from everywhere right now. He's everywhere. Mostly in Detroit at Lions games. I mean, not now because it's the off season, but he would be if there was a game going on.
How did the other films do? It's not the first one. It's not the second
That's
one.
the third.
It's the third one.
That's why it's called Angry Birds 3.
Yeah. I mathed it out.
It'd be weird if it was the second one and they called it Angry Birds 3.
It was a weird film. It was about it had anti-migration messaging. I'm
What?
sure. Yeah, the first one's weird. It's a big thing about. I mean, because obviously they don't like the pigs.
Yeah.
Oh,
pigs
Are
don't
the
like
pigs
them.
are the pigs a stand-in for
The
immigrants?
pigs are. From what I've heard, I've never seen the film. I've listened to a different podcast about it, and that's what they said. They said that it was a bit. It was a bit icy.
It did come out in 2016.
Yeah.
Icy as in ice.
Ice
the
as in-
organization.
yeah.
As an immigration.
Yeah, that
Right.
not as in cold, as in
Yeah. Huh.
yeah.
They're anti-pigs. It's not like the yellow one. who's
Anti-pig.
Voiced by Nigel Farage and
No.
doesn't like the blackbirds.
Yeah, there isn't like a specifically
Oh,
racist bird among the cats.
Okay.
But aye, just a strange. Strange. I wonder if that's still a thing.
But racism, yeah.
Yeah,
Oddly,
it is.
no. In the Angry Birds 3, will it have overtly Republican messaging?
I mean, it's coming out during Trump's second term. Again, I don't mean to get political, everybody.
Yeah.
But
Are we gonna have to do Angry Birds 3? Having not seen the first
No.
two?
no.
We don't have to do it.
I'm putting my foot down.
We didn't have to do this one.
But we did.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because that's our new gimmick. We do not the film that's out right now.
Yeah.
A film that's vaguely connected to it.
That's what we always
Sometimes
do.
directly connected to it.
Oh.
Aye. But the
Like-
critical thing is the film hasn't just come out, which is true of the film Borderlands, which is good.
Yeah.
So we're doing well so far, boys.
Yep, we're
It's
on
a hit.
pace. A couple more bits of news for us. The Tron Ares trailer came out. I don't know if you guys have watched it. I know Crun doesn't watch
haven't.
trailers.
I didn't. I saw the thumbnail, though.
It looked cool. It's got Jared Leto in it, which is, that's unfortunate.
Oh yeah. Aye.
But,
that should have been your lead-in.
But the Jared Leto's in it.
No, I said, did they get Jeff Bridges back?
I don't know.
You don't know? Or is it you saying I don't and then the word no? I don't know if that was
No,
one
I don't
sentence.
know. I'm unaware. He's quite old.
Well, it doesn't stop most actors.
He is in it. He's in it.
Here we go.
Jeffrey Bridges
Yeah. He's in
is
it.
back for the third Tron film, everyone.
Yeah. The second one was good.
Do people still care about that franchise?
No, people didn't care about it.
I don't know, I was
Ben.
going to say I didn't care
Yeah.
about it to begin with.
I've never seen a Tron film.
You
Never
didn't see
seen
Tron
one.
Legacy.
No.
It's cool. It's cool. I like it.
Everybody tells me that Tron Legacy is good. I won't ever.
You will when this comes out.
Oh, Christ alive. Oh, maybe.
Anyway,
Could
it's
this
good.
be the time?
And it looks
Since
good.
the last time we allegedly recorded a podcast, I've watched Iron Man 2. So anything's possible now.
That's true. A movie you famously said you would never watch for any reason whatsoever.
I believe that might be on record.
In fact,
somewhere
you've
that will
watched
remain
all of the
nameless.
Marvels, if not most of
I've
them.
watched all of the MCU movies back to back. That's been a a thing that transpired in my life
character
since last time, among
development.
others.
Yeah.
Yeah, character development. I like Marvel movies now.
Yeah.
Well,
He now likes
never.
them more than me.
Yeah. What a turnabout.
That's so
There'll be
funny.
diehard, 2 or 3 diehard listeners who are hearing that. Like, what
the fuck has happened?
Who are you and what did you do with Kieran?
Yeah, I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. Some say I never left, but I did.
The next bit of news seems to be specifically tailored to you two.
Oh,
And,
Okay.
Hanson.
well, not just
British?
you two.
Is that they're making a sequel to the Monster Hunter movie?
Hey.
No, thank God.
Yeah, I don't want that.
No, they're making a Death Stranding movie, and that's kind of been, in the ether
That's
for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
But they have officially gotten a director in.
Is it Hideo Kojima?
No. It's Michael Sarnowski, who directed A Quiet Place Day One, which I have not seen.
Me
I've
neither.
heard that was all right.
So
High praise.
maybe this will be all right.
Aye.
If it ever
I'll
gets
love it.
made. This strikes me as a movie that we hear about and we hear about and we hear
And
about,
it
and
never
it just
comes
doesn't
out.
happen. But I thought that
Now,
about Borderlands.
however,
so-
don't speak too soon. It might
Yeah.
come out several years from now with an incredibly bloated cast and absolutely no redeeming qualities whatsoever.
I mean,
But
the
we'll get to that.
the game has a bloated cast, to be fair.
It's true. It's true. It's
Except
true.
they're
Is
No
it
used
starring
spoilers.
Norman Reedus?
Don't know.
Because it'd be dumb if
Just
not.
know that it has a director.
It'll cast that. It'll star that guy who played Light in the Netflix Death
Oh,
Note
no.
adaptation. that'd be,
Who's that
that'd
guy?
be something. I don't know.
I can see his face. He looks like a human cheese string.
He looks like a what?
A human cheese string. Like if they, one of them came to life. That's the face I'd imagine it had.
Oh.
There you go.
Nat Wolf.
That's the guy.
Am I thinking of the right fella?
Speaking of the
no.
Devil May
I think
Cry
I
thing, Ron. Oh, it's a good show.
Is it? I've heard it's horrific, but folk are raging about it
Oh
on
no,
Twitter.
that's it. That's it. See what it is? People might be raging, but it's fun times. It is. That is just it's a show that its intro song is "Rollin' by Limp Bizkit."
Oh dear.
Is it actually?
That's all you need to
Is it
know.
actually?
That's what you're in for. And it plays like
Oh, that's
Papa Roach
mad.
and shit during fight scenes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe I will watch that.
Yeah,
then.
it's
That
a-
sounds better
it's a
than the
laugh.
games.
Do you know what it is? It's people who are watching Devil May Cry and mad that they've dropped his power level down and he's getting beaten up by a girl sometimes. And I'm like,
People are seething about like the lore and stuff like that.
I'm like,
and I
yeah,
really
it's
could
a
not.
retelling.
I don't think there's anything I could care
yeah,
less.
do you know what they
about.
haven't taken away from you?
So-
The video games and the lore. Go play them.
That's true.
No. When a
That's
new
true.
thing comes out in a franchise, that means it erases all of the old stuff in that franchise,
Yeah,
and you
they've-
can't enjoy it
they've
anymore.
destroyed
That's what
our
I've learned on the
childhoods.
internet. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is completely its own thing, and I know it's not great, but it's a fun time. It's
And
fine,
that's
you know
all
what I mean? I'm
needed to
watching
hear. I
it.
might stick that on.
Yeah, it's casual. If you like the Castlevania stuff, it's like that. It's probably not as good, but it's for people of our time.
I'm glad that we've maintained our trademark flair for going on irrelevant tangents.
What do you mean maintained? We've never done
Yeah.
this before.
Nothing.
This is the first ever podcast.
We've established early that we have a flair for
Right,
going
thank
on
you.
mindless tangents into the unknown.
Well, here's a very mindful tangent. It's not a tangent. Or it might turn into one, but I'm going to try and not let it.
Do you mean segue?
China, that
Okay.
being the People's Republic of China,
Mhm.
is considering a ban on Hollywood films in response to the 104% tariffs that were levied on them today.
Does that
by
mean that we'll
the
be allowed
Trump
to have gay
administration.
people in them?
Yeah.
What? Oh.
In the films?
Well, I mean, they always have them in them. They just edit it out for China.
Does that mean that Finn can be the main character of Star Wars again?
Too late. You missed it.
Oh,
And no. Have you seen the state of this country? No.
that's a good point.
He can't.
Yeah.
So, movies, for example, like the Minecraft movie, a Minecraft movie, that have done
Is it
very
a
well in
Minecraft
China.
movie?
It's an Minecraft movie, yes.
And Minecraft movie, yeah.
Yeah.
One of many to come.
So the
You know,
last one
maybe.
can be called the Minecraft movie. That's why you do that.
But then it would erase the previous ones, and then we can't enjoy them anymore.
No, this is just the definitive one. This is,
Oh.
An ultimate Minecraft movie.
yeah.
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 And this will now be called. Nah, I'm not even going anywhere. I
Great.
started
Good
that.
stuff.
I didn't have
There was no joke. There was no punchline.
I balled it.
It's all right. We're rusty. We've never done this before.
Yeah, it's,
so.
Yeah.
you know.
This is our first
Time. Might as well be.
It's fine. I'm going to be more judicious with the editing. I do this for a living now.
Yeah, that's true.
So now I actually know how to edit a podcast.
I think you did a great job before.
Nothing is safe.
Yeah, it was swell.
So yeah, that's the news for the day and the week. I could have gone back, several years and reported on things that have happened, but
no,
I didn't.
Yeah, I was a bit worried that we would need to get through 5 years worth of headlines in chronological order.
It's been 5 years.
I think it has.
No, hasn't it been 3?
I think it's been longer than that. It's been a really long time since we never.
I mean, we've never done this before.
Yeah.
Since the last time we didn't do it.
Anyway, what you guys been watching? Here's the debut of our world famous segment called "What You Watching."
3-time voted most promising high potential podcast segment of the year 2025. Watching.
Yep. Yeah, we got the award 3 times for the 1 year.
In which we discuss what we've been doing.
Yeah, not even what you've been watching. Could be reading, could be listening.
Could be anything.
Could be
It could be a place you've been. That wouldn't be the first time. I mean, it would be the first time. But theoretically, that would be allowed.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've only got films. I've got 4 films that I wrote down.
Okay.
Actually,
Let's
5.
hear 'em.
Okay.
So the first one, which I watched recently, was The Monkey. The film in which I think it's called The Monkey. I hope it's called The Monkey. I just wrote that down.
I believe it is called The Monkey.
The little drumming monkey, where if it plays its song, it is an arbiter of fate and it causes somebody to die in a humorously over-the-top manner. Directed by the person who did Longlegs. I can't remember their name.
Osgood Perkins.
That's right. Thank you very much. And I very much enjoyed it. I thought it was a very bizarre film. Again, if you've seen Longlegs, then you know to expect something that's a bit fucking bizarre. But it was very funny. It was sort of like
more or less than. I mean, obviously they're different because this seems to be like funnier.
Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to compare them. I would definitely sooner rewatch this, but I didn't dislike Longlegs. But I think if you did dislike Longlegs, I wouldn't let that put you off this. I think this is a very different type of strange. It's sort of like because it's based off a Stephen King story. It's almost like Stephen King meets Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events.
Okay.
It's loosely based off a Stephen King story.
Like most of the Stephen King adaptations.
Aye. And it's it's like that meets Series of Unfortunate Events. It's a very strangely told story, but it was really entertaining. It's got a strong cast.
I didn't like Longlegs, but this seems like you said totally different. So
it's got ridiculous violence in it, like just stupidly over the top violence and gore. Like, but it's good. It's proper funny. Like actual laugh out loud. Like made me laugh more than once. Good movie.
Nice. I'll bounce off that with a violent movie of my own I watched. A film called The Sadness. Didn't everyone seen that?
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's pretty violent, right? Holy shit.
It is very.
That's Elijah wouldn't like it.
Is that the one we watched, Kieran?
That's a nasty, cruel type of violence.
That is basically it's a zombie apocalypse kind of film, but everyone becomes a mega sadist instead of just a normal zombie. So like, it's not just like, oh, they're gonna eat me. They are fucking each other in their eye sockets to kill them.
I'm pretty sure we watched that.
Yeah, I have seen it. And,
that's the grimmest bit. That bit's like, ooh.
It seems to be a thinly veiled adaptation of Garth Ennis's Cross.
But
it's also Taiwanese, so it could be a coincidence.
Oh dear.
Edit the first half of it and just use our knees, but then put whatever before.
Let me find out. It is Taiwanese.
Hey.
Well, that's good that I said that first.
I saw the... What are those symbols called?
What do you mean?
Grant?
What do you mean?
Like their
Text.
writing. What is it called?
What's
I don't fucking know,
Taiwanese
dude.
writing called? Fucking hell.
Like
kanji.
Chinese.
Kanji.
Like, yeah, kanji. I saw kanji and I thought it
Fucking
was.
university challenge over here.
That's why I thought it was Japanese. That's why I knew it wasn't Korean. But
Yeah,
it turns out it was Chinese,
that's fair enough.
Taiwanese.
It's-
Don't mean to get political. Taiwanese.
if you're looking for a film like that, it's a good film like that, but it's not a film for everyone.
Yeah, I would.
You know what I mean? It's still
Yes.
a well-made, decent kind of film like that. There's some of them that are just like gore porn. This isn't, but when it does it, it does crank it.
If you don't want to feel bad,
Yeah,
just don't.
I mean the film's called The
just give it a
Sadness.
miss.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what you'll get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
But not
tagging
the
someone
same
in.
sadness from the film. Hopefully.
I guess I can go. I've been watching a few movies lately, not a ton, because I just don't, unless I have to for this. But I watched La Haine recently, which is like I don't know,
Why?
a kind of an all-time classic that
That's
you
a-
hear people talk about.
That's
a
a
lot.
rapid departure from the last two films.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, black and white French film, 1995, and it's spectacular. If you haven't seen it, there's a reason people say it is worth watching, and it absolutely is. But it's basically just about like these three guys that live in a shitty bit of France, and what happens to them over the course of a couple days. But yeah, I'd give it a watch. It's worth it. And if you're one of those people who's put off by subtitles, get over it.
Yep. I've had it recommended to me by hitherto unmentioned random man Daniel
That's who I watched it with.
yeah.
Well, that's convenient.
Yeah. Again, full name,
Confirmed.
bleep his last name.
Established film watcher Danny.
Danny. Yep.
Yes. Yes. He said it was good. I haven't seen it yet. But
It
I will.
is. I can confirm the words of Danny.
Well, that's good. That's two people.
Should I try and speed
That's
through a few?
almost three. Go on then.
That's
Rip
all
a
I've
few
got. So
That's all you've
the
got?
rest is on you guys. Yeah.
I'm
I
just
don't be doing. Actually, let me stop you there, Grant.
All right, I'm being stopped.
I've got one more thing. You've been stopped. I'll do my last thing, and then I'll let you guys rattle off the rest of yours.
Okay.
I played through and completed Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and it's outstanding. I would recommend it to everybody who plays video games. Go play it, because if you like Indiana Jones, it's just more Indiana Jones. And Troy Baker does the best Harrison Ford impression I've ever heard in my life.
It is striking.
If you didn't know it wasn't Harrison Ford, you would think that they just de-aged him by 50 years and stuck him in a sound booth. It is outstanding.
That's
a
good to
great
know.
game.
That's I know. I'll play that when it's cheap.
It's a very
banging.
engaging game. It's very fun to play. Everything feels fun to do in it. Very well put together.
And you get to beat up Nazis. I don't mean to get political.
Yes.
You get to beat up Nazis and fascists.
Should I speed through a few? You got a few? What you got?
I've got three. How many have you got?
I got four, but I can make them quick.
I've got two. Oh, yeah, fuck it. Go.
We might have overlapped. Did you watch anyone watch Adolescence TV show?
Crun did.
Oh, I didn't put that down, but I did see it.
Yeah, I liked it. It wasn't as good as everyone was raving on about it. I think that show was carried heavily by incredible fucking performances, but the story itself didn't really have one.
Well, I mean, what carries it is the technical aspect. Like,
Yeah, yeah, the
the fact
one
that that's
shot
4 hours, 1 hour long uninterrupted shots.
is
It's
crazy.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and Stephen
Absolutely
Graham is
incredible
absolutely
feat.
incredible
And it's
as well.
got Stephen Graham. Yeah. Yeah. It's an
Other than that-
absolutely unbelievable feat of filmmaking. But yeah, I also agree with you. I think that the story kind of fell flat.
Yeah, it's because the story's finished in the first episode. The story is done. Episode 1, the story ends, and afterwards,
but then it's a character
just like
examination after
yeah,
that.
and that is that's where I kind of fall off with things like it still has to be a story for me. After that, it's just
Yeah,
like
that's
really good camera work, really good acting. I wasn't bored throughout it, but I'm not going to watch it again.
Yeah,
I feel like the story was done right at the start.
I felt that the two folk that were playing the police officers, I didn't think that they had the chops to pull that off. I think they were kind of where it fell flat.
I mean, they were only in it for the first episode anyway.
They were in the second one in the school.
Oh, yeah.
The school episode was a bit rough.
Yeah, it was a bit
It
lame.
did have a foot chase where the camera just teleported through a window somehow.
I mean, probably
We haven't
past
actually
that.
explained, like, this show for anybody listening who hasn't seen it is about it's this, like, you don't actually see the event take place directly, but it's about the immediate aftermath of a school child stabbing a female classmate to death in I think, well, is it London? No, it's not.
It's like, you know, Yorkshire or some shit, right? I don't know.
Aye,
It's somewhere.
somewhere up north. Aye, and but yeah, the main conceit is that the whole thing is just a one shot. Well, the 4 episodes are each 1 hour long, one shot episodes, like the other Stephen Graham vehicle, Boiling Point, which was about one night in a restaurant, which is also very good. But aye,
I feel like everything with Stephen Graham in it is really good.
I've yet
Well,
to
Stephen
find this
Graham
thing.
is really good. That's the thing.
Yeah. He carries things, and this is no different. Although the wee boy was absolutely incredible as well.
He was good, and he wasn't even an actor.
Aye,
Before
well, he is
this,
now.
this is just a kid they got.
Wow.
It's just some kid they found.
Just a kid.
Stabbed the lassie to death.
And it's Stephen Graham's real wife as well, right?
Is it?
I think this is actually his wife.
Is that right? I didn't get that.
I think so. I think I've heard
That's
it through the
wild.
grapevine.
That,
You guys keep talking about it
if
and I'll
that's
find
right,
out.
then that's really cool. There you go. You learn something new every day. Podcast 2, where we'll teach you 2 things every time, guaranteed.
Or tell you a lie.
Or we'll tell you a lie.
Grant will tell you a lie.
We'll tell you a lie.
Probably.
And that'll
Listen,
be that.
if you were to go through all the other podcasts that we might or might not have recorded, I'm pretty sure the highest ratio of lies is undoubtedly you, Elijah. You used to do the news segment. Or you might have used to do
That
the
wasn't
news segment
lies.
if
I
we
was
did something.
reporting. If I were to have done the news segment, I would have been reporting what was given to me by various online sources. If that was a lie, that is not on me.
If we credited any... No, we've not done any sources because none of the news stories have been worthy of a source
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah.
Well, and also they're all just, taken from other news sources who've taken from other news sources that are taken from what somebody said on the street, which is why, if they're a lie, it's not my fault.
Yeah. And someone on the street said the Minecraft movie is good and whatever
Chicken
the other
jockey.
one was. Yeah, they said chicken jockey, and that was
And they
all Elijah
scrapped.
needed to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, well,
Yeah.
that's Adolescence. Really well done. It's worth a watch, for sure.
It is definitely worth a watch. It is striking to see. It's just worth
Stephen
it.
Graham's
visually.
wife plays Mrs. Bailey. She's in 1 episode. She also co-executive produces it.
Is that maybe one of the teachers?
Oh,
then? She's
maybe
in
she's
it,
a
but she wasn't
teacher.
his wife.
She
in
wasn't
the
the
show. So
wife.
you were half
Alright.
right. You got told
Yeah.
a half fact,
Yeah, she's hanging
but
about.
we've corrected it.
I
I
should stop
assume.
fact
Well, there we
checking.
go.
It's funnier if we just lie.
No, do the fact checks, because...
Okay.
We can't lie to people because lying is unethical.
And if they stop
Well-
before you correct them, that's their own fault.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
If they switch off because they're like, no, Grant's an idiot. It's obvious his wife played Mrs. Bailey, and then they switch the podcast off before I corrected it. That's
Or they
your
switch
fault,
off because they're
and you'll
really
never hear
excited
this.
by my amazing story. And they're like, holy shit, it's his wife? I'm going to go tell my wife about that. And then they just leave the podcast.
And then, well, that's how misinformation spreads,
Yeah.
Yeah.
as we saw with Keir Starmer's election.
No, we don't get political.
No,
here.
that's not the way we go. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, everyone.
All right,
Take it
gonna
back.
crack out 4 horror films back to back real quick. Late Night with the Devil.
Okay.
Really
That was good.
Yeah,
I
how was
really
that?
enjoyed that. That was a good goddamn
It fell
film.
off a bit.
But
it was good.
I liked it. I liked it. It did have payoff for me. I'm happy. I like a payoff.
I did
movie.
also like it actually. See, you know what? I take that back. I think I had my opinion. Like I saw reviews online. I saw people talking about it online, and I've had my opinion swayed by public discourse. I take
Yeah.
it back. I liked that film. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I think it paid off well. Like, you're watching. My least favorite
did
kind of
pay
horror
off well.
film is the Exorcist film with someone's a fucking this girl's gonna get white eyes and look a bit old.
That's
or
a
whatever.
hot take, by the way.
I don't think he means The Exorcist. The
No,
film.
yeah, I
think
mean
he
the
means-
kind of film that's like Exorcism of Emily Rose. There's 9 million things
Oh,
with some
okay.
possession
Not The
movies.
Exorcist.
Possession movies. That's what I'm trying to say.
possession
That's my
movie
least
with
favorite.
no
Just
payoff.
constant, yeah. But this had payoff.
It did
This
have
was
payoff.
this,
It was
this had
very
a really
creative.
good. I'm not going to spoil it, but this has payoff if you want to watch it. Also, in case I didn't say what the film was about, a guy who's like a TV talk show host, late night host, makes a deal with some weird, cult to get good ratings in his TV show, and then he has to pay the piper.
It's done in the style of a TV show from that time period as well. It's got like lots of visual flair and stuff like that. It's because it's a mockumentary
really
about
well
it after the events have transpired. It's very good.
Yeah, correct. Next film, Little Bites. Better premise than film, but it's kind of cool. So it's like a woman in a house. You hear a bell ring. She goes down to a room in her house where this bell's ringing from, and there's something that lives in her house that feeds on her, and it just like she just let it take bites out of her every now and then, or it will kill and eat her children.
Interesting.
Her child, and literally, so she goes to bed, and this thing will ring a bell, and she has to get out of fucking bed and go down and feed it, or else. And it's like, and it's
Imagine
not like
how tired you'd be going to work.
Yeah, and it's not just like a mindless monster. It's like a vampire-esque type thing, and it's like a really posh English dude, and she's like,
Dracula.
Could you please take a bite out of my leg? My arms are fucking getting infected. They're fucked. She's like, no, I think I'll have an arm. And it's like, it's just like completely uncaring about her fucking well-being. It's killing her a slow death.
I like that.
Yeah, it's just a really cool concept.
Quite Tales from the Crypty.
Very like Tales from the Crypty. Yeah,
that sounds fun. I might give that a watch myself.
It is produced by Cher.
Okay.
There you go.
As in Sonny and.
Yes.
That one.
The very Cher.
The very Cher.
You think there's another Cher?
Yeah.
It could have been like a weird way of pronouncing Cher.
Yeah, maybe I'm just a weird speaker.
We don't know each other yet.
That one doesn't pay off as well as Late Night with the Devil. That's all I'll say. Maybe I should start telling people about the payoffs or not, but it's fine. Next I watched When Evil Lurks. I think it's a Spanish movie. I think it's Spanish.
That's a banger. Argentinian. Spanish adjacent. So I'm... that was pretty decent. I like that too. It's like kind of a world where... I thought it was really cool. It's a pandemic movie, except the pandemic is demons.
And it's just the world has accepted that, demons will occasionally appear and you need to fucking deal with it. And they don't appear and just like, I'm in your cupboard and I got wings. It's like some guy will become like fat and horrible and gross and be in a house and he'll fester the land and stuff around him.
Aye.
And everyone around him starts going mad. And you've got to kind of deal with it, and they'll send out like proper people to, the channels, the church, or whatever, will send people out to come and deal with this infected before it births an actual proper demon, which is really cool. And it's just about two brothers who work on a farm basically, and on their land, they live on someone else's land again. Their landowner there's a little shanty village, well, a hut where he allowed some travelers or something, I don't know who it is, some refugees, something to live in it, and one of them becomes a thing, and they have to deal with this thing on their land, and shit just fucking kicks off. You know what I mean? There's a really good scene with a dog, like it's coming. Yeah. You're just waiting for it. You're like, oh, that dog's gonna flip out. But that's
a very violent movie as well.
Yeah. I was on a kind of a
rough
theme
stuff in that movie.
I was kind of going through those kind of films.
Are you okay, Grant? Do you need to talk to somebody?
I liked it, but I'm fine. So that's good. I highly recommend that. I think that also had a weak ending, but fine. But it's worth it.
Different
worth
kind
the ride.
of weak ending.
And then I watched a film called Never Let Go, starring Halle Berry, and it's kind of like a Bird Boxy kind of film where
that
a woman, woman in a house with her two children who have never been in civilization. She keeps them away from civilization because there's an evil out there that only she can see.
If I remember, it was very heavily advertised in the lead up to that.
I'd never heard of it, and then I just fucking saw it on like Shudder or something wherever I watched it. And I was like, all right,
that sounds a bit really nice.
So I watched it, and it was like, the whole first half is kind of like, is she just crazy? And like, there's one kid who's like, the usual two kids. One kid wants to follow mom. She knows what's right. She's keeping us safe. The other kid's like the rebel. I don't think mom's telling the truth. I don't think there is an evil out in the woods. I think we should be able to go.
That's the impression that I got from the trailers. It was sort of like, is there actually something out in the woods, or is the mom just off or not?
Yeah, that's basically the whole first half is like, is she or isn't she mad? And the whole Never Let Go comes from the fact there's her parents, who also believed in this evil, had tied long ropes from the heart of the house, like underneath the actual the foundations of the house. That you tie yourself to that rope, you can go as far as you can with the rope. As long as you're tied to the house, the evil can't get you. And so these people are living within the radius of this house, tied to ropes. So you want to go out, you put your rope on, that's as far as you'll ever go. And it's, a little kid growing up and he wants to get off of the rope and go free and whatnot. But his mom's either a psycho or not a psycho.
Not simply tie another rope onto the end.
They do tie multiple ropes together. Sometimes you want to go really far to get food. It's also like a survival thing. Like they go living through winters and there's no food. And it's like, are we going to have to fucking eat the dog? They're fucking scraping bark off trees to eat bark for dinner and, etc.,
I feel like I'd
etc.
eat the dog before I was scraping bark off of trees.
Well, there's a whole thing about the dogs, as you imagine. One kid does not want to eat that dog. It's his dog.
Yeah.
Fair
enough.
As you would. You probably wouldn't want to eat your dog. But if
No, you
were
wouldn't, would you?
a parent of 2 kids, you're like, we're going to eat the fucking dog, kids.
We're
I'm
gonna
sorry.
eat that dog. Yeah. Fair
But-
enough. Can I eat that dog? No.
That's the question on everybody's
Yeah.
lips. Can I eat that dog?
Can I eat that dog?
So yeah, it was mid. There you go. It
Yeah,
was
that's
a Bird
what I
Box-esque
figured.
film. It's exactly what it's expected to be. It's Halle Berry is back. Don't know where she's been.
She's back. Where was she?
I don't know where she's been.
That's a good question. Where has
Has
she
she
been?
done? What's the last time you saw Halle Berry out in public, let alone in a
John
film?
Wick 3.
Yeah.
John Wick 3.
Oh, in public, I've never.
I don't mean public.
I
just
never
mean
have
in
had the pleasure.
out in the zeitgeist. Like, John Wick 3 is probably the last time. And I can't remember what she was doing in that. Was she just in a scene? Was she in
She
Morocco or
had
something?
2 dogs.
Yeah.
She was the
And
dog
everyone
woman.
kept
in John
asking
Wick.
her. She was like, "Can I eat your dogs?" And she was like, "No,
No.
She was like,
you
absolutely
can't
not.
eat my dogs."
Yeah.
And then she shot them with guns.
Yeah, not the dog. She shot the men. Or the women
Yes.
who wanted to eat the dogs.
Those are the films I could remember I watched in March. There was other shit like Renfield and whatever. But... Heretic. You haven't seen that with Hugh Grant.
Well,
Short
funny
stint.
that you mentioned that.
Watch that shit. I
Because
loved it.
allow me to segue into my watching, where I watched the Hugh Grant film Heretic,
I've heard of that.
in which he 2 Mormons go to his house, and he's off his nut.
He fucking is. He's great. It's another one of those films where he carried that
He
shit.
was very, very good. Yeah, I did like what the film had to say. I thought it was quite a
Yeah.
contemplative movie. It's all about like the nature of faith and what faith means, and like it argues both sides quite well, I thought.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
yeah. It's not too like if you were to break it down beat by beat, it's not too adventurous a movie. Like it goes pretty much the direction that you would expect it to go in, but it's a really good script. He performs it really well. The two lassies in it as well are really good. Don't remember their names. Sorry to them.
No.
If they're listening out there. If you're listening, then tweet us at podcast 2 and tell us your name.
We don't have that Twitter.
Not yet, but we will.
Does
Eventually.
anyone have it? Let's see.
It might not be at podcast 2. We'll amend that in future episodes.
It could be 2 TOO. Like as well.
No. we had some bother with the YouTube.
Buddy,
It'll be
yeah.
at podcast 2 spelt TWO is probably what we're gonna have to look at there.
Well, there is an at podcast 2 who they've made one tweet and it was May 19th, 2011.
Do you reckon we
take
could
it off, then.
appeal to Mr. Musk and say, please, Elon?
I don't want to talk to that guy.
I'll do it. I've got
Did you
no
see the
shame.
video of him getting bullied playing games on the internet in his plane? It was so just him sitting in his private jet doing like some kind of test, playing PoE or something, and and I could do thousands of messages, people just spamming him. He's trying to play it, it's edited, and he's sad. And he's just them saying how his fucking kids don't love him. He's gonna die alone. His wife left.
That's the one I
trying
saw.
to ruin this game, and they're just going in, and his face is just sinking and sinking
Yeah.
as he's getting.
I did see a screenshot of a block of text that said, "You have no friends and you will die alone,"
Yeah.
and it was just his sad face
Yeah.
underneath.
That's great.
The video
Do you
was
remember
so
when
funny.
he posted
Man.
his Elden Ring build?
Yeah, and everyone's like, "The
Yeah,
fuck
it's
is that?"
shit.
Terrible Elden Ring. It's my favourite Elon Musk fact is that he's shit at video games.
And then he paid people to play PoE 2 for him, and people found out
God,
that
he
he
was
wasn't the
paying
one
some
playing.
guy to play Path of Exile.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
And everyone found it
Unreal.
wasn't him. He's just
Oh.
can't. Oh no.
Anyway,
Oh.
anyway,
We don't
yes.
mean to get political.
We don't mean to get political. Heretic was a good movie. I recommend. I'll recommend giving that a punt. I thought it was fun.
Same. Watch that.
Yeah. What else
else
did
you
I
got?
watch? This is just a minor selection from the last wee while. I watched Basketball,
Oh
which
my
is
god.
Trey
There's a
Parker and
fucking
Matt Stone film where they make up a sport and it catches on a national scale. And it was pretty funny, I have to say. Like,
funny.
it's the same style of humour that you would associate with them in South Park and such like. It's satirical comedy. What I like is that they're like acting in the film, so they don't sound like characters all the time. But then when something goes wrong, you'll just be like, "Oh God! Oh my God!" like a South Park character.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
I haven't seen that
Like-
film in a decade plus.
there's not really a whole lot I could say about that. It was a comedy. I thought it was quite funny.
I remember them having big wangs. There's a joke of them having giant
there's a joke that they have giant cocks because they made the movie themselves. It was a Titanic flop at the box office apparently, and rightfully so. I haven't seen it, but it was good. I enjoyed it. It was funny.
Yeah,
and among other things, I've also watched 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh.
That's a left turn, isn't it? You weren't expecting that. Anybody who had 50 Shades of Grey on their bingo card, well done.
When did you watch that?
I watched it
how
fairly
was it?
recently. That film is, on my letterbox, my review says that it's a world-class hate watch, because it truly is. I was watching that and I was laughing out loud because it's so obvious. Like, it is so on the nose. You get, like, everything that happens in it is just, obviously it's a sex movie for women who've never had sex before. It's like, it's specifically designed to rile up sexually oppressed lassies. And you can tell everything that happens, I was rolling my eyes. I was like, I could just picture these fucking 50-year-old women sitting by the pool at Tenerife,
Literally
just
what I was about to
soaking a
say.
fucking hole in the fucking sun lounger, reading this book. I couldn't fucking believe
That's
my eyes.
foul.
Well, the film was pretty foul as well.
It's what it is, man. Because the original book was like, wasn't it like, was her name Stephanie Meyer? Like, it was a Twilight
No,
fanfic.
that's the Twilight lassie.
No, that's the Twilight woman.
Was it, I thought she wrote,
it
no,
came
was
about,
it someone
the lassie who
fanficked
wrote
her
50
work?
Shades of Grey. Yeah, the lassie who wrote 50 Shades of Grey, I think you're right. There's some sort of fan fiction thing going on there. But
Like,
either way, yeah, it was
fanfic.
based off a sex book for women that came out a long time ago. And it's terrible. It's meant to be a BDSM thing. It's not really. It's
E.L.
just
James is who wrote it.
Yeah, it's just rape. There's no consent involved. They're doing things there that she doesn't want them to do. But anyway, yeah, we who shall remain nameless, watched the sequel as well. And
50
that
Shades
film's
darker.
darker, that's right. And it was better, but that somehow made it worse because it was a more well-written film, and that made it less entertaining as a whole. Because the writing in the first one is fucking unbelievably poor. Like, it is horrendous. It's funny. Honestly, I'd recommend watching the first one because I was laughing the whole way through. Like, groaning. Like, great stuff. Great stuff.
boy.
Really enjoyed it. Overall, I would rate my watching about 7.5 out of 10.
Wow,
Thank you for
that's
listening.
pretty high.
Everyone. Yeah, well, the monkey and basketball and heretic.
What would
were
you
good.
rate? What would you rate Grant's watching?
I would rate his fairly highly as well. That was a decent crop of movies
Yeah.
apart from one. Good
Yeah,
stuff,
never let go.
everyone.
Halle Berry.
So
Halle
good
Berry?
stuff
Halle
out of
Berry.
10.
Good stuff out of 10. And Elijah
Okay.
was only 2 things, so he's not yet rated.
Okay, all right.
That wasn't enough to provide an accurate response.
I understand. I'll get more in next week. I will.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many things we've watched since we last did it. And big things,
Ah,
like fucking Alien
we did it.
Romulus and shit. I love that.
Alien Romulus. We might
Yeah, but
wind
we're
up
not
doing
gonna
that
talk
for
about
the
that.
Oh, we're not
podcast
going
at
to
some
talk about it.
point.
Okay, we won't talk about it. The Substance, that's
For
fucking great.
podcast
You should watch
too.
that shit.
No,
I've
yeah,
not
we're not
seen
getting
that
to
yet.
it.
Anyway, right, what we're getting to now, if I remember correctly, is the film that we're talking about today.
Oh, yeah,
That's
we've got
correct.
to do this. Fucking hell.
Time for the movie! Borderlands, the movie of the game Borderlands. Directed by
That's
Eli
right.
Roth, starring, among others,
Somehow.
Kate Blanchett, Jamie Lee Curtis, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, fucking Bobby Lee. Like,
Yep.
the
Well, I would
list-
say it's starring Bobby Lee.
the
in
list
it.
goes on. This film, I didn't look up the numbers, but I would be very
I've got 'em.
surprised if it made any money.
Would you like to? Would you like to hear?
Go on then.
Because oh boy.
How much did it cost to make? And then let us guess.
Okay. Wait. You want to know how much it? You guess how much it cost.
Can we contextualize this just for a second? That like,
Sure.
I once listened to a podcast where there was 3 guys that were suspiciously similar to us, and they spoke
yeah.
about this film for a long time. It came up week after week.
Years,
They would speak
probably.
about for home like. Well, I mean, I think the podcast in its duration lasted a year, so it can't have been years.
Maybe
but, but anyway, so the they were talking about it week after week after week, and then that podcast came to an abrupt end, and the film still didn't come out for a long time after that. This film was in development for ages and ages and ages, and everything that you heard about it, it just got worse and worse and worse.
It did.
As time goes on.
The cast got better and better and better, and somehow that made me feel
that
worse
made
and
it
worse and
worse. Yeah, yeah.
They're resting on that shit.
Yeah. So without further ado, tell us the
that being said, I would like you to guess how much you think it cost.
With all it must have been like reshot and fucked up and stuff. I'm gonna guess it cost them way more than you think it should. It should be like 150 at most, but I bet it's like 300 million or some shit.
It wasn't. It was 110 to 120.
Okay, well that's
so
better.
Not too much.
Too much.
Like
yeah,
absolutely too much.
Absolutely.
But that's about the going rate these days.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, you'll hear my classic thing. Oh, you got to double it for.
Yeah. Advertising and shit.
Classic.
Advertising. Thank you. Advertising. Marketing is the word I was looking for. So you're somewhere around the 220 to 240 million range.
Mm-hmm.
And in the box office, this movie made $33 million. So it is a colossal bomb. A Nagasaki-sized bomb
Holy
to the
shit.
box office.
It's an absolute wow. And most of that money must have gone to the fact that they just employed big stars. That's it.
The
was the whole
punchline finally landed on the Borderlands movie, and it was terrible. Good
And the
grief.
punchline sounded something like this.
Oh
My God.
dear.
And I mean, you're off to a good start, right? When the screen comes up and it says A2 Productions.
A2
Not
production.
A24, A2. And you think, I've never heard of that company before. And then that goes away and it starts with just a narration. Don't show. That's what I always say when it comes to my favorite
Then
movies.
again, if we consider the source material famed for telling and not showing,
It's true.
in many ways this is a great adaptation.
It's
Because
true.
let's not forget that Borderlands is also shit. Yeah. So it was destined to failure.
I will say Borderlands isn't that shit. It's shit now.
Oh,
Back in the
right.
day, the games were like
First one was
fine.
alright.
I enjoyed Borderlands 1. I played that. I was like, that's a 7 out of 10. I'll never play
Aye.
it again.
I was
then
going to say,
two more came
let's
out.
get that out of the way right now. This would have been good if it was made 10 years ago.
I'm not even sure.
I don't
know
think
if
it would have
be
been good.
It would have done better.
Yeah,
and
it
it
would have
been
done better.
far more palatable if it was made a decade ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because they're so late on this.
Yeah, the problem with this and the Borderlands franchise in general is that Borderlands 1 was funny for precisely a year. Borderlands 2 came out and it was like, right, you're pushing it. And they just kept going and kept going and kept going. With, I will say, the notable exception of the Telltale game, Tales from the Borderlands. That was actually really good and was genuinely funny, but that's because it wasn't written by the same people. But that's an aside. The point I'm trying to make is that this is fucking garbage. There's not much more I can say than that. Somehow Randy Pitchford's list of foibles grew even longer in the production of this godforsaken film.
Gearbox is Randy Pitchford.
That was going to be the end of when we don't usually do, 'cause we've never done it before, but like highlights and lowlights. My lowlight was that Randy Pitchford didn't make a cameo. That's what I was looking for. The whole time I was looking for Randy. I'm like, Randy? I was waiting for them.
Oh
They went through
God.
like a kind of like big bazaar, I don't know. What's this? I don't know what you'd call that kind of place. In post-apocalyptic fucking market place where everyone... A town, I guess.
Bazaar.
A weird town. A fucking bazaar.
Yeah.
And there was so many, people and stuff. It's full of weird goobers and whatever. And I was like,
Is it,
Randy's
though?
got to be in here somewhere. Randy's got to be hiding in some... But nothing.
Because not even
no
Randy
Randy.
Pitchford would want to be associated with this film. Not even he.
But the rest of them did, apparently. Kate Blanchett, Kevin Hart, Jack Black.
I mean, that's the thing as well, is that this film answered the question that everybody had, which was, what if Borderlands but old lady?
That's,
And
that's what I
sure
kinda
enough,
felt.
There's a line in the movie where Kate Blanchett says,
Too old for
I'm
this shit.
getting too old for
Did
this
the Danny
shit.
Glover.
And I said,
She is.
I wrote in my notes, honey, everyone in this movie is too old for this shit.
I've got a theory.
They're all too old. Ariana Greenblatt, not too old. She was fine
Well, she's
as
too
Tina.
old for the character.
She's very fucking annoying, is what she
Wow.
is.
Alright. I've got a theory for why everybody's so old.
Yeah.
And that's that I think
It's
the
because-
original
How long it
script...
took to make?
Yeah, I was gonna say they
Wait,
aged in
wait.
real time.
Excellent stuff. No, I think that in the original draft of the script of this, it was a lot more tied in to the actual Borderlands lore. And I think they were
okay.
meant to be old versions of the characters from the game having to come back to Vault Hunt again. But I think the studio, because a big thing about the production of this movie was that was it. It was just hard for them to get produced. Eli Roth was desperately trying to get this film made for years.
Why?
And I think the studios just ground the fuck out of that script until it turned into what we have before us, which is fucking abysmal.
It's not good.
Not good.
Yeah.
I don't think I feel as strongly about it as you do, Kieran. I think it's nothing. Like, I just think it's nothing.
That's
there are
why
bits
I
of
hate
it
it.
where I was like, oh, that's bad. But
I
I
kinda
don't
got
know.
the same.
There's bits that aren't terrible. Like, some of the sets look good, and some of the costumes and
So,
props look good.
Yeah, one of my
But-
few positive notes is I suppose it vaguely gets the aesthetic right. Like
And
it's fine aesthetically. It does the job. It's recognisably a Borderlands film, which fair enough. Obviously, you can't really do cell shading in real life. Like all right, but it's just. And I also said that the rotating gun barrel was okay. The shot that they used in every single trailer, the first shot that they used in every single trailer, because it was the only good one that they had.
Yeah, there's neat, like the little face projection thing that the
was
bad
quite
guy
cool.
uses at the beginning. That looked fine. Like, I thought it was neat. All the Crimson, what are they called?
Crimson Lance.
Yeah, I thought their costumes looked really good.
Yeah, fair enough.
Some of their vehicles weren't great, but like, there's some design elements that are good, and like, people try. It's not like they were trying to make a bad movie.
Yeah,
They did.
They did
But,
do.
Yeah.
People put the effort in. I wouldn't say it's from a lack of effort that it's bad. I'm sure a lot of it was studio interference,
It was
like you
better
said.
than I thought it was going to be. Not good. My bar was already so low. This is like a 3 or 4 out of 10. But it's better than I thought it was going to be.
Everything that I
Yeah,
expected
it's
it to
probably
be.
about that for me too.
It was dire. The line reads like Kate Blanchett sounds like she's doing a fucking Werner
dude.
Herzog impression.
It's
Like-
so bizarre, her
It's-
line reads in
Yeah,
this.
literally. Like, honestly, you could redirect all the world's research into this script and you'd still not find a way to read it convincingly. Like, it is absolutely horrendous.
She's so bad in this.
She's appalling. Jamie Lee Curtis is appalling in this film.
But, like,
Absolutely
okay.
appalling.
There's levels to
She's
like
a
Kate
nonce now.
Blanchett.
That's
Sorry?
a development. She's a pedo or something now. She has that's something that happened
Allegedly.
since the
Hold
last
on.
one.
Wait,
hold
what?
on.
Allegedly.
Elijah, you need to fact check this one.
Whoa.
So, hang on. Since the
Fucking
last
hell.
time we allegedly done a podcast, so there was stuff that came out that she has like fucking like weird child bondage art up on the wall in her house. Do you not remember that?
I don't know.
I do
We
not.
don't, we don't
remember
like
this.
Jamie Lee Curtis here.
Do we not? I can't remember. But I mean, a lot of people have
don't.
like Anne Geddes picture.
Child-
Like, there's a baby inside of a
It's-
fucking cabbage patch. You know what
No,
I mean?
it was like a
Or is it-
fucking tied up child inside a suitcase. And this was right after fucking Epstein got.
Timing's all right.
Okay, January 19th,
Art is a weird thing to
2023.
fault people on because people have like weird art and they're not weird. If that
Listen.
makes sense. It's not my cup of tea. to have a
Listen.
fucking bondage baby on the wall, but
If you got a bondage child on the wall, then that's all. That's all. The like fucking objection, Your
Actress
Honor.
Jamie Lee Curtis became
Throw her in the
subject
fucking
of
chokey.
controversy this week after she posted an Instagram that included photographer Betsy Schneider's image of a child in a makeshift bathtub.
A makeshift
is
bathtub.
Betsy Schneider some artist that we're
Aye.
known to be
Jamie
problematic?
Lee Curtis is a nonce, and so is fucking Betsy Schneider, or whatever her name is.
I don't know if they're
Get
actually.
the fucking both of them out.
I don't know if they actually are diddlers or they have weird art. Because like people like artists, I mean, she could be following that artist, and that could be that artist's new picture.
The image appears on Schneider's website under the title The Tub, and there's a clickable link here that I'm not going to click.
Don't fucking
Okay.
click that link.
Yeah,
You'll
don't.
As
get put
part
on a
of the
watch
series
list.
called Sweet is the Swamp. It features a nude child photographed from above, crumpled up inside a basin filled with water.
I mean,
What, is it meant to be like, it
fucking
looks like a
game, set, and
womb?
match?
Or what
I
is it?
rest my case. Get the fucking both of them on the list.
I don't.
When
Art,
she
art is
won a
just a weird
Guggenheim
thing.
Fellowship in 2011, Schneider wrote that the series, quote, has drawn from my memory of my own childhood as well as my experience as a parent and as an artist to create images that I hope challenge and disturb traditional views of children and childhood. Well, you've done it. Congratulations, Betsy.
Successfully have done that. Fuck's sake. Anyway,
I can't say that we can. I don't think we can straight up call her a pedophile.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right, fair enough. We don't know that she's actually
bad taste in art.
She's up to something. I don't trust her, and I wouldn't trust her around a child below the age of 18 at any point.
So a child. That's just a child.
Yeah, a child at any point.
A child.
A child.
Anyway,
she was terrible in this. That's what I was saying. She was fucking appalling.
So what I was gonna say to that is there's levels to this, and like Cate Blanchett being this bad is far more astounding to me than Jamie Lee Curtis being bad.
That's a good point.
Like,
Jamie Lee
Cate
Curtis
Blanchett
has never been
is
very
an
good.
Outstanding actor, and she was appalling in this film.
Yeah,
she's so bad. I don't know what's going on with her voice. I don't know what she's going for here. It's not a good performance.
Yeah.
You know who's not terrible? Somehow.
Kevin
Jack
Hart.
Black is...
Jack Black.
Kevin Hart, actually.
Yes.
Kevin Hart was alright. He didn't have very much to do, but he was fine.
I kind of like that he got to play the straight man.
For once.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he was alright. I'll give this film that.
Yeah. He was because he wasn't anything. He was just kind of there.
But like Jack Black's voice came in and I physically recoiled away from the screen.
It initially sounded like Jack Black, and then I settled into it. But I don't mind. I don't think I would dislike that character if he was it. But every character is doing that. You know? Like there's no.
Yeah.
He's not like the funny character because everybody has a quip and a you know, and I'm over it. But like I feel like his lines landed more often than anyone else's.
Yeah,
I mean the thing is though that like a big issue that I've got there is that Claptrap had a voice already. Like it's not like all the characters had a voice already, but that's a very distinct character. Also, in the games, he wasn't really written to be annoying.
He was.
Like characters got annoyed by it. He wasn't written like that though. He wasn't that obnoxious.
Like everyone was constantly trying to get rid of him. I think if you go back to the games, everyone was like, "We need to kill this guy. Don't stop following me." He was meant to be like aggravating.
True. Maybe I don't know.
That's why they kept like in the games they blow him up all the time and shit like that. You know.
Was he written to be as antagonistic in the games? I can't remember.
In this he's
not really.
Because he doesn't want to be doing it.
That was kind of funny.
That was quite funny.
That's the bits that I liked. Is like he's like, I don't want to be here, and if you died, I would be happier.
Yeah. But besides that, yeah, I think Tiny Tina was a big fail though. Her whole thing in the games, I know she's more one-dimensional in the games. She's like, you know, I'm insane.
I don't
and that's
like her in the games.
Me neither do I. But in the games, she's like, her whole thing is like, I'm insane. I'm crazy, wacky girl. I am become Joker. She's fucking just a lunatic who's throwing fucking bombs and shit and whatever. And this one, she's not that. She's pretending to be that. Because she also then randomly has like a serious moment where, oh, here's my trauma, time to trauma dump, and I'm this and I'm that. It's like, you're not crazy. You're acting crazy. Which is really weird.
Yeah.
And it was off-putting to know that in one other scene, all of a sudden, she's just a normal girl who thinks completely straight and level-headed. And then the next scene, she's skipping around throwing explosive rabbits at people. I'm like, all right.
Aye. Yeah. It wants there to be this like emotional gravity to her, especially in the third act. All of a sudden, it wants her to have some like emotional like weight behind her, but you can't have that on a character that's written so badly.
Oh yeah, man, and how on the nose and obvious there was. But I'm special. How many times does she call herself special? And we know she isn't. Yeah, but I'm the special one. But I'm the special one. But I'm the special one. In the end, I'm not the special one. It's like no shit.
Oh Christ! I had a note right where you know when she stands on the thing and she's like, "Don't worry, I'm invincible." Like, like the film would genuinely have been elevated so much if she'd just exploded
blew
or
up.
something like that. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, actually,
but we wouldn't have done this because, like, even if it had the mentality to do it, all the violence is sanitized as well.
It's so
in
sanitized.
a Borderlands film.
What's that all about? Yeah, like Borderlands is all about blowing up heads and stuff like that.
It's because they're like, oh, it's a video game movie, so it's for kids.
Yeah. So literally, this film is really reminiscent of video game movies back like maybe not quite that long ago, but like from like a while ago where
when they were
that
bad.
was the mentality,
So
where they were bad every time because they were like, this is for kids. this is for kids. Even now, but see nowadays, like Sonic comes out and it's like this is for kids, and it still manages to be an adequate movie. Apparently, I've not seen
well,
it.
that's because Sonic is for kids. But they take video games that aren't necessarily for kids and make them for kids because it's a video game.
Yeah, we had a wave like with The Last of Us coming out when it was looking good for video game adaptations, and this film is evidence of the opposite.
Yeah.
It's awful. I should also add, right? What's worse than watching the Borderlands movie? Watching it twice. This was the second time I'd seen this movie for the fucking podcast. Right?
Yeah, I will never watch this again.
No.
I've got a note in here that says it's a good thing that I found my 3DS yesterday, because boy, oh boy, was I struggling to pay attention.
Oh, so you were just... At one point, Kieran and I were watching it together, and at one point he got up to, I don't know, make tea or go to the bathroom or something, and he just said, I will not be pausing it. And he just left me.
I left to get a cheese bake out of the oven.
Oh, that's what it was, a cheese bake.
Honestly, while I was away, I was thinking about not coming back. There's another note in here that just says, I can't wait for my cheese bake. I was going through some shit watching this again. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
But yeah,
I mean, I guess we should probably go through the characters, huh? Because we just jumping all over.
What is this film? Elijah, you summarise. What is this film about?
Oh boy, that's
because
a big
I
ask.
don't know.
Okay, so Cate Blanchett plays
Lilith.
Lilith, that's her name. Who was born on Pandora and like raised on Pandora, but then abandoned by her mother at some point, and then abandoned by Jamie Lee Curtis's character, who is called...
Can't remember.
Something else. Can't remember either.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets hired by Atlas, who's the CEO of Atlas Corporation, to go take his daughter Tina back because these people have kidnapped her. So she goes back to Pandora to fulfill this contract, and it turns out Tina has been not kidnapped but rescued by Krieg, who's a big psycho, and I mean that in the game sense, not like he's a psycho.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is.
And Roland, who is a former Crimson Lance like guy, officer, whatever. And they all end up teaming up because then the Crimson Lance is trying to kill all of them.
They get roped into trying to hunt for a vault, which is like an ancient sealed thing full of alien treasure or something like that. Illyrian is the word that they use. It's got a big sporgly gorgler in it.
Apparently, it's got a sporgly gorgler.
Same as in the game.
And then so there's two keys, and then the daughter of what is it?
Illyria.
Illyria?
I think so.
Something like that.
It's not. I don't think that's it. It's something like that. People are gonna get mad at us.
No, they won't.
Nobody cares.
And then that person is the third key, and you're meant to think throughout the whole film that it's Tina, and it's obviously not. It's Cate Blanchett. It's Lilith.
Mm-hmm. Lilith, because she's a siren. Yeah. That's what it is in the games, and she can use elemental powers.
Yeah, she can turn into the Phoenix.
Yep.
Like in the X-Men.
And it burns her clothes off the first time, but not any time after that.
Yeah, because she learned how to not have it do
She learned how to make her jackets not burn.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the jacket that got burnt off then is in the next scene again.
Was that? I didn't notice.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice that.
She gets her jacket back.
So yeah, anyway, they find the two keys, and then they find the vault, and then they go in the vault, and then she traps Atlas in the vault, and then they do a Return of the Jedi at the end.
Yeah.
Fireworks go off at the end, like in Star Wars 3.
And why? Like what
are they celebrating?
I don't know, dude. And they're like, now there's
there wasn't
peace.
like an evil empire that they're free from. It's just someone found the vault.
You still live in a fucking shithole with fucking lizard dogs running around eating everything.
And now you have nothing. Your economy's over. You found the vault. No one's coming.
Yeah, you're just there. Yeah, I don't know what.
You better start farming.
There was a part about maybe 10 or 15 minutes before the end where I wrote down a note that says, I have been staring at the screen in a fugue state. I could not tell you what happened in the last 20 minutes. It was just colours. Like genuinely, the start of the third act of this film just shut my brain off entirely. I don't know what happened.
There's a gap in here where I didn't write any notes.
I just zoned
There was
out.
a bit where they were like underground and fought the blood shots.
Yeah, I liked them. I liked that. That was one of the things I did like. I
but
liked
there
all
was
the
like
psychos hooting and hollering and yelling and
there
having
was
a good
like
time.
the strobe light sequence, and I'm like, oh yeah, Eli Roth directed this. Like, there's bits of craft hidden amongst the shit.
Shimmers of light.
But yeah, just
amongst the darkness.
mostly guff, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you remember how they went down there and they said we can't fight all these things, and then they fought all those things?
They did.
And then
yeah.
and then right at the end, Roland
did.
gets tackled by like a million of those things, and then they Game of Thrones
Somehow
it, and
gets
he's just
out.
fine.
It's just fine. Yeah, there was a bit where they say a line like it was a callback, and we don't think it was in the film earlier.
Yeah, I wrote that down. So the line right at the end, when Lilith is going to stand on the thing, she says to someone, the Jamie Lee Curtis character, whose name I can't recall, she says, "No salvation without sacrifice, remember?"
Yeah.
I don't think that line was said.
It was.
Earlier
it
in
was.
it was.
Jamie Lee Curtis says it to her.
Right. That must have
And
been
for
when
what
we were zoned
reason?
out.
Something to do with her mum. It was some conversation
Great.
when they had a
It
chat when
fucking
they
was.
first
It
found her.
fucking was when we zoned out.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it when they were talking about using Tina as the final key, when she was like, "Oh, you don't know if it'll kill her or not."
Yeah.
They start the third act, and she says that, and then they call back at the end of the third act to the start of the third act. This fucking film, man. Cinema's dead.
Yeah, it's
Cinema's fucking dead.
it's a fucking
No,
journeyless
no.
film. Like there's like no.
It is.
It's just fucking scene and not really a set piece. Scene and thing happens, and scene and thing happens, and I don't know how they even like. It's set over a long period of time. Like there's a bit when like Claptrap goes to her and he's like, "It'll take you 138 days to walk," and I'm like, "I'm gonna do the maths." So you average
don't
walk at
remember
to get to the point where Tina is, because she says, "Scan this picture of Tina," and he does a stupid scanning song.
Oh, yeah.
And he says she's 138 days away walking. Average walking speed 4 miles an hour. I did the maths. And I'm giving her the advantage of the fact that she doesn't need to sleep for 24 hours straight, can walk through the fucking wilds without getting killed by anything, doesn't need water or nothing. She gets there. If walking at that speed, to 138 days, about 12,672 miles. Do you know how they solved the problem of that journey? They show a bat eating a dog and then she's there. That's it. They cut to a scene of a bat eating a dog,
Did she
and
walk?
the woman is no, she doesn't
No,
walk.
didn't she? She took a car.
Yeah, she gets a car. She like, they're at a car.
At
a
some
bat
point.
eats a dog, and then she's there.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's the film summed up. And then it's like, oh, we need to go to the vault. And then, oh, we
And
can't.
they're
The
there.
bad guys are here. Let's hide in this dustbin. They hide in a dustbin, get pushed out by someone, or I don't know who helped them, or he didn't help them, or didn't know they're in the bin. And then they're there.
I don't remember any of this.
They hide in
Yeah, they hid in
a
a
trash
bin.
like a
Did
bin
they?
to hide, to escape from people when they come to the bazaar. They get pushed out, they get out of the bin,
yeah.
and
When
that's
they're
when
up
they,
with
yeah.
Jamie Lee
And then they
Curtis.
go down the vault. They
Aye.
go down the hole to fight the raiders, and then they fight the raiders, and they
Yeah.
come out of the raiders, and they're at the fucking vault. It's just like literally just like there's no concept of time or scale or distance or anything. It's just
Yeah.
fucking. They had ideas. They filmed the scene and just put them in a chronological order. That's it.
Yeah. There's no weight. There's no like. Yeah, it feels like they're in the next scene because the story necessitates that they be in the next scene in
Literally.
the new place.
There's never a journey in this film, and they just do shit
Yeah.
because it needs to happen. Like remember right at the start, so Roland breaks in to save Tina, whatever, and then cause they're all in prison cells. I'm assuming these cells are there to stop people from being able to get out of them. And then just because it needs to happen, Krieg can just burst through the fucking
gets
shit. He
out.
just leaves his
Aye,
cell.
you're right,
He
aye.
just smashes through the wall. And I don't know if Krieg knew Tina before. I don't know if he knew Roland before, but he burst out, and Roland trusts Krieg with this girl. He says, "Hey, can you take this girl?" Roland didn't know Krieg. He said, "Hey, big guy, can you take the girl?"
This is evidence. This is
Krieg-
evidence. In the original script,
They
it
knew
was
each
the same
other.
characters from the games. They
Yeah.
knew each other already.
They must have, right?
Like, I'm telling for sure in the original version of this script,
But
it
then
was set like 30 years
so they
after the
just-
games.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
for
so.
certain, and it just had all of that ground out about it because that would have necessitated that you needed to have played the game already, and the studio wouldn't want that. There was probably a better. I mean, I don't want to say for certain because it is Eli Roth, but there was probably a better film in this at some point, and it just got made worse and worse and worse and worse over time until we
Yeah.
had a film that, outside of the aesthetic and the character names, really is nothing like the franchise that it's based off of whatsoever.
Yeah.
Which is emblematic of old video game
And
movies
things just
through and
happen.
through.
to make things happen. It's bizarre. Like, do you remember the scene where they put on those weird masks? They put on, like, cyber masks to hide who they are? And they're like, that's cool. Everyone knows who they are! They doesn't...
I mean,
every
to be
single
fair,
person who
that's kind
sees
of like
them...
a gag. That's like a joke.
But is it
that
a gag?
Kind of funny.
I don't
it
know if it
probably
is a
was in
gag.
the first draft of the script. That they go in and then everybody just knows who they are because they're established characters in the universe. They've already vault hunted or what have you.
And they've been
that
been
would
on
be
Pandora.
funny, if that was the case.
Canonically, if this was set 20 years after, they would be famous. Everybody would know who they were. It's fucking absurd. Fucking dumbass movie.
But in this one, it's like, oh, hi, Lilith. Oh, hi, Roland. And, okay. Randy Pitchford pushed this film. He got on a stage at, like, the Game Awards for, like, 3 years in a row and was like, remember my film? Don't forget about my film. Where the fuck were you, Randy?
He saw the first cut and he was like, "Get me off of this."
He was like,
sinking
I'm
shit.
going.
I'm going to medieval times. Nobody bother me.
Leave me alone. So don't see my flash drive.
He grabbed his
his
flash
flash
drive
drive.
and off he went.
Yeah, and he went to a family restaurant.
Yeah.
Good grief.
If you're not aware of that, just Google Randy Pitchford medieval times.
Oh, I heard a podcast where they spoke about it. Before.
Oh yeah, we probably did. They did.
I have heard that.
Yeah, they did. I think.
They did.
What a guy.
Hashtag
let's see. What
tweet
else can
with
we
the
say about
hashtag
this?
CausePod? Something like that?
You should bleep that. What's the deal? Like, I understand that the games have licensed music in them, but there's like 3 bits in this movie where they play 5 to 10 seconds of a 2000s rock song, and then it just ends.
I do have to say, when they dropped Supermassive Black Hole, I did laugh out loud. Like, that might have been the funniest part of the film for me. I couldn't believe it.
Why? And then it just stops.
It stops. Yeah, you just get the intro like bar to Supermassive
Because you get like
Black
15
Hole.
seconds free and you don't have to pay royalties.
I mean,
No, you're paying Muse for the license to that song.
It was less than
Pitchford
15
probably
seconds.
thought
You
that
can
that's
use
how
it,
it
right?
worked.
No, not a
Not
film.
not in
No,
a
maybe
fucking
not in a
Hollywood
film.
production.
Yeah,
like,
maybe not.
That's how it works if you're like non-monetized and shit like that.
This fucking film might as well not have been.
It's been a long time since we studied TV law together, Grant.
It's fucking true.
I wish, like, I like the Guardians films, but I blame James Gunn for this. Like, you did this.
James Gunn was responsible for the Borderlands movie.
Every movie thinking they can just slap some
Do a music
licensed
scene.
music in it,
Yeah.
and people will.
You're right.
You know, the soundtrack will fly off the shelves. The difference between those movies and this movie is that this movie is shit.
Yeah.
And it uses the music for 3 seconds and then stops. And here's what really bothers me is that having played a game and a half of Borderlands, the score, whoever composed the music for that game, it's not bad. Like, it's solid.
Bad.
Like, it's
Yeah,
kind
you
of
just get kinda like
westerny,
space
Yeah, western sort
Like,
of frontier vibes.
But where's that? That's not. It's nothing. Just get that guy.
On a sort of similar note, right? That like one of the things that it really fucking got me about this and how like just shit it is on like a writing and just in general. See at the start of the film when the bus pulls up to pick her up.
Oh yeah.
Like in the game, sort of. I was expecting her to get in, and there were going to be other characters in there, and it was going to do a Borderlands game thing where a song plays and it introduces the characters, and it's like a soft title sequence for it.
Yeah.
Which would have been great. It would have been
bus
like
is
the
empty.
games. It was made for that to happen, that setup. And it probably did in the original fucking script. Which I'll fucking keep harping on about that because I know it in my soul. Someday I'll be vindicated. Release the Roth cut. But anyway, yeah, it never happens. The bus is empty. We get a fucking shit, poorly written, like half attempting to be funny, bit of like tongue-in-cheek, rolling your eyes, can you believe that this is actually what we're saying, dialogue between her and some fucking bus driver.
He's the guy from the
And a
game who
film
sells
that
you all the
plays.
guns and stuff. The guy behind the...
Aye, he's the guy for the game, yeah, isn't he?
Which guns aren't a big thing. But Borderlands, the whole thing... The game is about fucking... Oh, if you found a wacky gun. You found a gun that you shoot and other guns come out and explode and shoot other guns which then shoot other guns.
Yeah. Like,
And this is like fucking just normal
the
guns.
selling point of the game is that there's like 100 billion different potential guns because it's all generated from like lots of different various things that can happen. That's the gimmick of Borderlands. The whole point of the game
Wild loot.
is that
Nobody
you get fun,
buys a
exciting
gun in
guns.
this, or,
Nobody
like,
buys a
picks
gun,
a gun
finds a gun. There's one
Everyone
gun
just
with
has
a
a
rotating
gun.
barrel.
Yeah.
Like that's it really.
The guy
Tiny Tina's
mentions
got
a
a
gun.
big rocket launcher at
He
one
tries
point.
to buy Kate Blanchett's gun off her. It's like, oh, you got one of those fucking LB9000s. I'll buy it off you. That's it. That's the Borderlands bit done. They've done their due diligence.
Aye.
Finito.
They don't
Great
have
stuff.
any of the real iconography of the games really. Like even the psychos and stuff, they don't look right. Like
No,
the aesthetic,
dude.
like
At night, I was like, okay, costumes don't look too bad, and then they go out in the light, and I'm like, oh Lord.
like they vaguely get the aesthetic.
Her costume looks bad in the light.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing looks fucking bad in the light.
Well, when the next one comes out with Handsome Jack in it, the guns will be a problem.
Grant,
Yeah.
that's not happening.
No, when the next one comes out with Handsome Jack.
Handsome Jack, what? Why was he not the villain of this? Like, although to be fair,
that's for the
to be
sequel.
fair,
the sequel,
that would have
obviously.
been in the second game. That wouldn't have been canon if these were the characters for the first game. Because characters for the first game, like Handsome Jack wasn't in it yet.
Yeah,
See?
so second game.
I'm like fucking Charlie
Atlas...
Day with a pinboard behind me. I know. I've been thinking about this for weeks. I saw this film months ago, and I've been thinking about it ever since. And it got worse and worse over time. And I watched it again, and I was like, fucking cinema's dead. I was right the first time. This film just fucking reminded me of it.
Yeah. I have a note in here that says, a mid-50s woman moping about a woman abandoning her as a child, get a grip.
Yeah,
Get over it, eh?
Yeah.
Like, you're old.
She's past a grown woman.
You're still crying about
She
your
could
mom.
have
Like,
birthed a grown
come
woman in that time.
yeah, correct. Yeah, my mom left me with this weird pedophile or whatever. Can't say that. Sorry.
Yeah, she does go on about it.
Allegedly.
My mum left me with this fucking bird that takes photos of me in a tub.
Oh no. She didn't take the photos. She's bought it.
Well, she got her friend to do it for her for plausible
Yeah.
deniability
Put it
for
on the
after
wall.
Epstein got, and she needed to go into hiding.
You know what's a better movie?
Allegedly.
Another note I have. A better movie with some of the same cast is Jungle Cruise. Because it's got the bad guy from Jungle Cruise in it.
Uh-huh.
It's got somebody else from Jungle Cruise is in it, I think.
I mean, she's also Galadriel in Lord of the Rings, so there's lots of better movies with Kate Blanchett in it.
Right, but I mean, like that movie's not great.
It's Kevin Hart
Is
in
it?
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, that's who's in Jungle
Gimli.
Cruise. Is he?
Yeah, is he?
Yeah, he's
No,
Gimli.
he's not.
He's Gimli in Jungle Cruise.
He's Gimli in Jungle Cruise. Oh, dear.
I posed a question to Elijah. Right, I linked him to a podcast that had three guys very similar to us that had about 51 odd episodes or so.
Yeah.
And I showed him the
48
entire
released.
list. The entire list of episodes that they had watched. They'd done the similar format to this actually. And I said to him, is this film the worst one out of all of that big list of films?
Ooh.
If you included Borderlands, is this the worst one
It's
out of them
definitely
all?
not.
I don't think it is, but I can't remember
It's
what else
fucking
is there.
up there. It's fucking up there.
It's certainly the most, like, boring bad film. Like, there's, like...
Yes,
Yeah.
For example,
that
like,
is probably
Elijah
true.
Elijah pitched Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which is
That film
technically
is
correct.
worse
That film
than
is worse in
this.
every way, but much more entertaining.
Oh, yeah, I'd watch that
much
again.
rather
I
watch
will
that
watch
again.
that again in my
Yeah.
life. I promise
That
you.
movie blows, dude. That movie
That
is
film
so
sucks
bad.
a fat one.
I'll watch it again.
Oh,
Yeah.
I won't.
Yeah,
Ugh.
we should copy every film that they did.
I know one of us, at least one of us, hated Venom 2.
I didn't
I'd
like
say we
Venom
all
2.
had a good time with
I
it.
think
we all
it's
had fun.
more fun than
This
this
film's
one.
worse than Venom 2.
Oh, this is way worse than Venom 2. I even made a
Ah.
poem in Venom 2 when I said Venom 2 is worse than Tenet. That wasn't true. I was making Elijah trying to feel good. It wasn't me who said
Yeah,
it. It was some
feel
other
good.
guy who made a poem about it being worse than Tenet.
Pretty
Tenet.
sounded
Have we
like
done
it.
Tenet yet? That might be the worst one we've done. Have we done that?
We haven't.
They've
We
done.
didn't do Tenet, and also Tenet is not worse than this, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the memes aside,
Yeah, if I have
Tenet
to be,
is not worse than
if I
that.
have to be honest.
Tenet does
you know what?
suck a fat one.
You know what? This is obviously this is worse than it, but it is kind of the same level of just boring shite as Tomb Raider. Like, obviously Tomb Raider's better than this. I'm not gonna pretend it's not, but it's just dull, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's just.
And of all franchises that's not meant to be dull, it's the explosive fucking hijinks in the Borderlands film.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This
and that's the
film
thing.
is
But I bet
reason
if
they invented smartphones.
I bet if like two of us were to do a podcast on Tomb Raider, I mean, yeah, like maybe two of us, and maybe like someone else had like an eye surgery or something, and they edited it. I bet that would be one of the best episodes of a podcast.
Better than this one. It's hard to talk about this goddamn film. It's hard to talk about a film about a fucking space planet with an ancient vault and fucking vault raiders and guns and stuff, and it's like I got really nothing to say about this fucking lame film.
Well, you know who has something to say about this film?
Who?
Letterboxd users. A brand new, never-before-seen segment called Here's Where I Read Letterboxd Reviews that I found on the app Letterboxd about Borderlands, the movie about the game Borderlands. That's what it's called every week.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
You better remember that.
I won't. So we'll start in the middle, right? 2.5 stars from Kylo. He writes, I really admire Cate Blanchett's dedication to taking on roles beyond just those that are Oscar-worthy. And I thought, I don't.
Yeah.
Why did she do this?
I'm like,
money, obviously, is the answer.
It shows a lack of integrity.
Yeah. She's a great actor. She just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, I watched her go siren, like, do their siren floating around. I've got the Phoenix Force. I'm like, there's just some stringy old woman floating about here, and she's not really doing anything.
Literally.
Here's another review. 1 star from Anto. Eli Roth wanted to make his own Guardians of the Galaxy, but he only made Farterlands. Doesn't even rhyme.
Bravo. Glad to see that the wit of Letterboxd continues
sharp
to
as
run
ever.
strong, sharp as ever. Yeah. Good stuff.
Here's a this is a 5-star review from Zach IG. 5 stars. The only movie to make me actively think of ways to kill myself while watching it. So I think that's a sarcastic 5-star review. If I had to guess.
Yeah.
I was truly, but even the first time when I was watching this, like giving it, like I'll believe it or not, I'll admit, watching it the second time, I wasn't giving it much of a fair shake. Like, I was playing Pokemon Ultra Moon on my 3DS.
I thought you were just really invested. That's why you were so quiet.
Even the first time, I was desperate to be doing something else. Watching it, I was squirming in my seat trying to escape this fucking film.
Yep.
I wanted to be free.
I've got 2 more reviews here for us. Here's one, 0.5 star. A franchise made entirely irrelevant by the progression of Western culture rendered into a scar in cinematic history. I've not even finished watching it. I want to kill myself. That was written by Crun.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that not mine?
It's your review, yes. 0.5 star. And then my favorite review of the day by Mr. 48. It's 3.5 stars, and the review is just 3-star emojis.
Brilliant.
So
brilliant.
Yeah. So, I mean, final thoughts and let's get into our segment, best bit, worst bit.
In nomine Patris et Filii. Best bit, worst bit.
Where we say worst bits first and then our best bits.
Catchy and original. I like it. Good idea.
I didn't like it.
I'll go with my worst bits and kind of my final thoughts. The end. I mean, I say the end. It's kind of the whole film.
The end.
Just made every character get a zinger, and I specifically mean like the last battle. Like then it just did away with the Roland being a stoic, straight man, and he gets zingers, and it's just unbearable. Like it's just brutal. There's no straight man left at that point, and everyone's just quipping away, and it's just dire.
Yep.
And also, as I said before, You're a decade late. What were you thinking?
Too late. Much too late. There's a new one coming out, the new game, right? Borderlands 4 is still a thing. Or is it 5? I don't know what they're on.
God, yeah, they're making a new Borderlands. Yeah, that
5.
they announced that at the fucking Video Game Awards.
Yeah, there's another one.
Oh, Jesus. There's another
Grant,
one.
what's your
we should
worst
play it
bits?
and stream it for posterity.
We'll stream it.
My worst bits are, I think Tina was fucking awful. She's such an easy character to write because you have to just not write, just be wacky, goofy thing. She just annoyed me.
Yeah.
Having a character that's meant to be like, I guess not mindless, but like a fucking just Looney Tunes wacky character who's like meant to be, she's been living on her own. She's a child who grew up in this wasteland. She's crazy. And now it's a child who's been living in, I don't know, I guess she hasn't been living in the wastelands this whole time because she got kidnapped from a spaceship or wherever she was. Being here for a couple of months, and she's adopted the whole persona of I wear bunny ears and make explosive bunnies and skip around throwing them, but then in every other scene have heartfelt moments where I'm extremely lucid and know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know. I think she just did her really bad, and she was shit as it is. Tina wasn't. I never liked Tina in the games anyway. She seemed like a try-hard, lame character, to be honest. Let alone this. Failing that, the next worst thing is they don't have Randy Pitchford in it. I literally what I was looking forward to.
I don't know why you thought that would happen.
I don't know, because the man got on stage at the Game Awards in between fucking Kojima and Jeff Keighley every fucking year for like 5 years saying, "Don't forget!" And then he forgot. Then he forgot. He went out for dinner at some fucking themed restaurant.
Yeah. It was keeping on the down low.
Ron, what's your worst bit?
Oh, God. Where did I begin? I think honestly, it's just the fucking script in general, the writing, so many of these performances. Well, every performance in this movie is a bit shit, but part of it is because the lines that they've been given to read out loud as a human being are things that no person would ever say. Because even the most modest of laymen writes a better script in their head when they open their mouth to speak to another human being, and it's just terrible. In general, the film's terrible. It's guff. It's guff. That's
probably the best word for it.
It's just a fucking fart in the breeze. And as we mentioned, that's based off of a bombastic, to give it one thing, it's a bombastic franchise that it's based off of. And this is anything but.
Boring.
It's fucking miserable.
How about best bits?
Should we Snake? Will I give my best bit?
Sure.
As I said before, the aesthetics vaguely correct. There were a couple of funny lines, admittedly. Supermassive black hole drop-in was hilarious, objectively. Couldn't believe it. And, I mentioned a bit, I like that the psychos, I like when the psychos all yell and shake their arms around that. There's something that activates in me when I see that I like. I find it very endearing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's all I've got.
Great. My best bits were just the bit where she said, "Did he send his shortest soldier?" I thought that was funny. That's all I've got.
Yeah.
There were some funny lines. I was writing. Let's see. Where's that note? I hate to say it, but some of Claptrap lines are fun, and then it cut off because as I was writing that, it got old. Is my next note there? They go too far.
That's Borderlands summed up, though. That's literally what Borderlands is.
It is, right.
You play for an hour, it's like, okay, and then after 20 hours of gathering guns and someone's making a fart joke or a piss joke again.
It's true, yeah. The gameplay gets old, the style gets old, and the writing gets old.
I don't even like the games. Why would I like this?
Games are
but
better.
Anyway, it's best bit. There were some funny lines. I did laugh a couple times. I don't know if I full laughed, but I kind of went, huh. Maybe once or twice.
Yeah. I did happen to do Claptrap as well. Sometimes I was like, he hates it. That's it. Best bit, fucking, I don't know. Krieg was unoffensive.
He wasn't he?
He was alright. He's played by the guy who you might not know who I'm talking about here, but in the most recent season of Reacher, they found a guy that was even bigger than Reacher.
It's that guy, the guy bigger than Reacher.
The guy who's even bigger than Reacher is.
He was also in something else, but
which
that's
incidentally,
fascinating.
just as a brief aside, if you haven't seen Reacher, that's a show that's way better than you'll expect it to be.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I've not seen it. Is it Reacher? Jack
hits.
Reacher?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That show fucks. It's quality. Like, love it. Anyway, that's a complete aside. I digress. But
that was my best bit.
He's good.
Krieg was just there. He was inoffensive. He's not a character that would have much to do in it. He kind of just shouts every now and then. That's what he does. But they could have made him more annoying. I can see them doing that. I could see them trying to give Krieg a lot of screen time, making it even more annoying. But they didn't.
Yeah.
They kept him as an ancillary character, and it was inoffensive.
He was in Creed 2, by the way. He played the Drago.
Nice one.
The younger Drago.
Cool.
Neat.
Well,
we've done
speaking of inoffensive, let's get to the least offensive part of this podcast, which is in the segment that it ends. The end of the podcast. The end. And then just cut. There. Good one. No, joking. Thank you for listening to the inaugural episode, the first one of the second podcast. Podcast 2. We were here, and so were you.
Right.
If you would like more of this, then look no further than the description box, where you'll find linked our YouTube channel, where if you don't like Spotify very much, you could watch on there. If you like having something open on your second monitor, feel free. If you'd like to hear more from us, you can follow us on Letterboxd. I can't remember my username. Oh my god.
Mine? Are you going to cut this, or do you want me to go?
I'll cut it.
Okay.
Hang on.
This is really funny.
If you'd like to hear from us specifically, then you can go on to Letterboxd, where you can see what we've been watching in advance of what you're watching. If you were to search for Krun, that's Krun, you'd find me. Elijah, how would they find you?
I think it's just Elijah, if I've been told correctly.
That's great. And what about Grant?
Mine is Grandmaster Kong, to make things very simple.
I lied. Mine is... Actually, I'm not going to say mine because that was my last name in it.
Oh, it does as well.
Well, if you look at who I'm
you
following,
can't find me
you'll find
anywhere.
him. Unless he's private in his account.
Yeah.
We'll figure something out for next time, but for now, that's the best that we've got. So you're
Also,
gonna
I'll
have
probably
to
make
take
a
it.
Twitter for the podcast at some point.
And you're going to have to like it. Stand by for a Twitter account, as he says. And with that said, there's nothing more to say. We hope you enjoyed this first episode, and we hope we'll see you next time. So until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Ciao.